starting soon? Yeah. Greetings, denizens of the internet. You can call me Nitro Indigo, and welcome to the 17th part of my riveting Monster Sanctuary live stream series. In the last episode, we finished the underworld. We learned about a secret. We learned about the secret of the blob locks from Old Baran, and then we made our way into the mystical workshop. And this episode, we're going to continue through that. And also, I accidentally set the time of this stream for 2 hours later than it was supposed to be, so sorry for any confusion. Luckily I set the correct time on the...
You love this level theme.
Oh, a guy. Greetings, my name is Trevisan. You must be a monster keeper. That must be another one of the alchemists. Let's get him. And he's wearing a gas mask for some reason. At least that's what it looks like. You must have met some of my former colleagues. Don't worry, I'm not an official member of the Order of Alchemists anymore, but I'm still wearing their uniform because I like the aesthetic. I don't even have any monsters. I'm a scholar, not a fighter. That's why I was drawn to alchemy. It was the first time I found something that I could get recognition for. It was with great pain that I had to leave the Order, but I have certain suspicions about Marduk, the leader of the Order. How many times are you going to say Order? If you help me, I will gladly share my suspicions with you, Keeper. But first I need to confirm those suspicions. That's why I'm here. I need to access something that could very well be hidden away under the top floors of the workshop. Usually I get by the sanctuary with stealthily and occasional smoke bomb or two, but the workshop's denizens aren't that easily fooled. During my colleagues, there could also very well be a champion monster on the way. You keepers like taking care of those, right? If you can pave a path for me through the workshop, I'll share all I know with you. Well, this one seems to be quite reasonable.
I don't know what suspicions you need to confirm. We have pretty explicit evidence that he's trying to do bad things, TM.
His knowledge would be very valuable to us. We should still keep an eye on him, but let's trust him for now. So... I need to...
Also, I mean, he's wearing a gas mask, but you said he's wearing a gas mask for some reason, but like, of course, like, Plague Doctor masks are just gas masks, but early versions of them.
Oh,
so they're all wearing gas masks.
I guess it just looks a bit more modern, but I suppose it makes sense because this is supposed to be steampunk.
That's weird that it looks modern. That's definitely weird.
Yeah, because it's supposed to be this is the steampunk area, and steam technology was invented in Victorian times. At least steam engines were. So I guess it fits.
Yeah, I mean, the Plague Doctor masks, they didn't know they were gas masks. They were trying to keep evil spirits out. Also, they stuffed just a whole bunch of fucking flowers in there. It's great.
I thought it was because they thought bad smells caused disease. Maybe
Oh yeah, no, it was that. It was definitely that. I don't know, it could be both. People believe weird things.
I'm not a historian.
Neither am I. I just like history, kinda, sorta.
I'm more of a prehistorian.
I wanted to be an archaeologist when I was a kid.
I wanted to be an
Now I've decided, but instead, I've decided that instead I would like to be to make TV shows, which is definitely better than the other option.
Too. Like, I mentioned this on Discord a few times. I have a pitch for a TV show. This would be an edutainment TV one about prehistoric mammals. It's kind of like Dinosaur Train, but it's aimed towards an older audience, sort of like. Or maybe like Horrible Histories, there's another edutainment show for an older audience, but it's probably not going to have as much gross out jokes as that. Not that I have anything against, and also in Horrible Histories, it's a very different format to what I'm going for, but it's just evidence that there are British edutainment shows that aren't aimed at toddlers. It's like, I like Dinosaur Train, it's cute and it's not that annoying, but honestly, don't binge watch it, it gets really repetitive. Most of the episodes don't have a conflict, it's just, gee, it sure would be nice if we met a dinosaur that could do this thing. Oh, I know, let's go meet a dinosaur that can do this thing, and then they just talk.
I mean, that does not sound like my cup of tea.
Oh, and here's some treasure chests. Oh wait, they're not. It's, I was going to say Mimit, because that's a Temtem, but what's... Gimme Gold, that's the Pokemon that hides in a treasure chest, even... words. Who invented words?
Word, sir. Glimmer. Wait, Oh, sorry. Sorry about that. Something caught in my throat. Like a frog. Oh god, there are frogs in my throat.
Gosh, that reminds me of a joke in My Little Pony Set Your Sail, where a character has, who lives underwater, has a very scratchy, evil-sounding voice at first, and then they cough, and then it turns out they had vocal fries in their throat, as in small fish. I also have no idea what.
Oh yes, small fish.
Because I've seen it's a character I'm thinking of is Captain Starboard, and I've seen people refer to them as female, but I don't remember if they're referred to such in the actual comic. Maybe in some official announcement.
No, I mean in the My Little Pony fandom, that doesn't mean anything.
I mean, there was a character who everyone thought was male in the G4 comics until like in the third issue they appeared, and it turns out they used they them pronouns. And people on Equestria Daily got really mad about it, like, oh my gosh, why are they forcing agendas into a kids comic, even though it's so subtle it literally had to be confirmed outside. Guess some real problems.
You'd almost think they weren't fans of a show that preaches love and tolerance.
Although I definitely feel like My Little Pony Friendship with Magic plays it a lot safer compared to even its contemporaries, like,
oh no, yeah, definitely.
An explicitly queer couple until like the same-sex couple until like season 9. I mean, they'd appeared in the comics beforehand, but the comics did get away with more because who reads stuff I do. But like the point is that the comics aren't as mainstream as television.
Yeah, damn.
So they can get away with more, which is why I think Set Your Sail is the best thing to come out of My Little Pony Generation 5. I will fight people about this, although I'm actually not sure many people disagree. G5's not really that popular.
I don't know about, like, multimedia stuff is fun. I think it's fun, but like also, I can't keep up with all of that.
I'm trying to think of
It's like, you know, it's.
Oh, Kingdom Hearts, where like every game is important to the plot, which is like every game doesn't. None of the games are standalone, which is very usual for story-driven video game series, where like Zelda games are typically like the plot makes sense on its own, but it has a bunch of references to other games in the series. And sometimes they'll recap events of previous games, but mostly like they recap the plot of the Wind Waker at the start of Phantom Hourglass, even though literally the only part that is important that's important is that Tetra has special magical powers. But anyway,
yeah, but it's just like, I mean, I don't have as much problem with the video game thing. It's just that like when you have to read to understand, when you have to like read all the comics and then watch all the shows, and like I think like it's fun when occasionally like a show like incorporate a feature from that was in the comics as a neat little wink to the comic fans. But then it's like if you need to read the comics, it kind of. Comics are hard to get your hands on, man.
So, a lot. Okay, one of the earliest G5 comics actually reveals some important lore details, but Set Your Sail is kind of disconnected from like the main ongoing storyline in Tell Your Tale at the moment. And oh my gosh, I hate this room so much. It's another lever puzzle thing. Is it lever or lever? It might be a regional thing.
It's a regional thing.
Also,
or if you're British, or if you're American. You're American.
Is a Zelda enemy. I think they're the ones that look like pea hats, but they're on the ground, which isn't very helpful if you don't know what a pea hat is. They're these like sandworm things.
Yeah, I got no idea. I haven't played a Zelda game in a forever. That's not true. I literally played a Zelda game like.
I feel like they're only in the sort of like very classic style downfall timeline games. I think I kind of imagine if I've once saw someone say that you should call the downfall timeline the dead timeline, because that's what happens to the hero of time.
I mean, yeah, but downfall timeline just sounds better.
Yeah, fair enough. I haven't really been active in the Zelda fandom for a long time, but I did watch a video.
I mean, it is like, yeah, that's what happens to the hero of time dies, but like,
defending the official
downfall just sounds better.
The other day I watched a video defending the the official timeline and saying that they kind of dropped the ball with Tears of the Kingdom because they just didn't want to put games on the timeline which is fair enough, but then they said, oh, you should figure out...
Never wanted to do it in the first place, man!
But then they didn't have to... But then apparently it has a lot of lore stuff that doesn't make sense, but I haven't actually played.
I mean, most of the games have lore stuff that doesn't make sense. The only... One of the few times they tried to make a game that like fully tied into all the lore of all the games was Skyward Sword, and everybody hated it.
Although I think the story was a lot
like aside from like obviously
a lot of people...
Twilight Princess and Wind Waker are both sequels to Ocarina of Time.
Yeah, they made too many sequels
Or
to Ocarina
really,
of Time.
sequels to Majora's Mask more.
And we got 2 new monsters then.
Because like Majora's Mask is the direct sequel to Ocarina of Time, which then leads to like both Twilight Princess and Wind Waker are very clearly meant to come afterwards.
Okay, I've got an Oculus.
I'm still convinced that Twilight Princess Link is descended from Ocarina of Time Link.
I'm pretty sure that's like very heavily implied. Zelda fandom was my introduction to fan theories, and they had some of them on Zelda Wiki with a big banner saying they were theories. But it's been so long that
But that's just a theory! A game! I'm sorry, I had to.
But it's been so long that some of these, I've just forgotten what's canon and what's not sometimes. Because I used to read Zelda Wiki a lot and literally spoil every Zelda game for myself up to Skyward Sword. But anyway, I just hatched an Oculus.
Yeah, that's a mood.
And I couldn't think of names for them, so I skipped over the naming screen for now, and I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Oh gosh. So I thought at first if it changed the rotation, that lever changed the rotation of the gears, but if it's purely aesthetic, so it doesn't really matter. Although how is the middle bit staying still, even though the rest
Damn, that would be a fun puzzle.
Oh, right. You have to...
I mean, it's clearly that's where the shaft is attached to.
I'm sure there's a puzzle in like a Zelda game.
It's like a nut or bolt.
Yeah, where you have to reverse the direction of some
It's like
gears.
that game, Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts.
Okay. Oh, we got an enemy. Not to be confused with
Oh, boy.
from Wings of Fire. Because there's, when she's introduced in the second book, the narrator of that book mishears her name as an enemy. Also, Wings of Fire, I think, is just like the platonic, like a very good example of third-person limited. Third-person limited is basically when you're writing in the third person, but you only really get to hear the thoughts of one character. And like every Wings of Fire
It
book
really is.
that like have one in the prologue, and then one for the most of the story, and then one for the epilogue. Or 3 for most of the story in the Legends, which are the big, chunky, long books, and I've only read one of them.
Dragon Slayer is really good.
Yeah, a lot of people didn't seem to like it, but I did. Maybe it's just because I've kind of got bored of Wings of Fire. It's nice to see it.
Dragon Slayer is good. Darkstalker is good, even though it ends poorly and Darkstalker is an asshole.
I saw someone. I haven't read Darkstalker, but I saw a few people say once that it was legitimately good literature, even like way better than most children's books, basically.
Yes, because, you know, the Wings of Fire books aren't good literature. What a pretentious asshole.
Yeah, honestly, like, I feel they kind of remind me, I don't really like the concept of X work of it being considered the most amazingest, like, best of all time thing, because it kind of just makes it seem like people are basically encouraged to just nod along with popular opinion and be like, oh, this movie is good, but it's not as good as Citizen Kane, and it'll never top it, and people used to say that a lot about Ocarina of Time too.
Most movies top Citizen Kane. Citizen Kane is a very old movie that... I mean, it's not a bad movie. Citizen Kane is actually pretty good, all things considered.
I'm gonna name this movie...
It's just also not the greatest movie ever.
I haven't seen it. But I'm not trying to diss on, like, the classics or anything. I just think that nostalgia is overrated, is what I'm trying to say. And appeals to tradition. Or, like, how, like, I kind of stopped watching online Pixar movie reviews because they all just turned into the same, oh, back in my day, Pixar movies used to be the most emotional rollercoaster masterpieces ever, but nowadays, their movies just don't make me cry anymore, and something cars...
Have you considered that perhaps you are an adult now?
I don't know, it's like... When Pixar said, like,
That's the thing about most reviewers, is that they complain, but most of their complaints are just they've grown up.
It's kind of like, I remember seeing this...
It's not the movie, it's them.
This review of Elemental where they said that Pixar movies stopped being as good when they started personifying abstract concepts, except some of the least popular Pixar movies like Brave, Cars 2, Good Dinosaur aren't about abstract concepts. Whereas Inside Out, which is about abstract concepts, is considered one of their best of last decade. And then Pixar kind of stopped doing anthropomorphism for a bit with stuff like... I mean, Turning Red does have anthropomorphic pandas in it, but they're human most of the time, so I'm not sure if that really counts. And,
I mean, I think Brave is a good movie, actually, and it's underrated.
Yeah, I like the soundtrack. It's been a long time since I've seen it, and I wasn't exactly... I was mainly just... When I watched... The one time I watched it was just to take my mind off some intrusive thoughts, so I wasn't thinking critically. Have I mentioned that I've intrusive
Yeah, no, I think Brave is a good movie.
I wish I could remember.
It's funny because like if you were in the fandom at the time, like the big thing was like crossing over Brave, How to Train Your Dragons, and Rise of the Guardians, I think.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that.
I've probably talked about this before.
I need to watch it. That's like the one of the three that I haven't watched.
I loved
the four of the four.
It was the first movie that I really got emotionally invested in. And but unfortunately, I was actually shocked to learn that it flopped because I thought it did well. It had quite a big fandom. Maybe it was just a cult thing. But then again, it also seems like every movie nowadays is the highest grossing because of inflation. So Guinness World Records has to make overly specific categories like highest grossing film without a villain. I might have talked about this before. Actually, I don't know. It's been a long. This series has been going on for a month.
I mean, most of those Guinness World Records are paid for anyways.
Oh. And like a lot of stuff in gaming edition is like even more overly narrow superlatives. Like
I don't think we even need to talk about this. There was an entire segment of an H-Bomber Guy video about it.
Oh,
we've all seen the video.
Oh, I haven't. What video was this?
The one on the Roblox Oof. Sorry, I assume that everybody's watched it because it was one of the most popular videos ever for a while.
I don't really watch H-Bomber Guy.
And also,
is he the guy who popularised the whole massive video essays about why his show sucks, or is that someone else? Well, I know he does massive video essays.
Yeah, he does massive video essays, and not all of his video essays are about how a show sucks. That's just the ones people remember. Like, he had a pretty good review of Fallout New Vegas, I think. And he didn't have as many bad things to say about. Like, there were games where it's like, there are ones that it's like, this game is a masterpiece, or there are just ones that were like, this game is weird.
Wait, why would he mention Guinness World Records in a video about Roblox Oof? Could you give me some more context?
The guy who... Okay, so, it's a very long story, but to sum it up, worse than he did, a while back, the Roblox Oof was this is important context, was discovered to actually be from a game called Messiah, which was and nobody had noticed, and it turns out that the sound, because of contract reasons, was owned by the guy who company created the whose company worked on the game as the sound effects company, Tommy Tallarico, who is an entire separate thing. But long story short, the relevant part of this is that he has a bunch of Guinness World Records that this isn't like this is the thing that most people do when it comes to Guinness World Records, but he paid Guinness to come up with a record for him to break. There's an entire, they have a marketing section. They are a paid business. But anyway, that required an explanation of how Guinness World Records work, and he's been lying about how many Guinness World Records he has. He has 3. He claims he has 7 because he has 7 different plaques.
Gosh, I actually had no idea about this, and I love Guinness World Records. There's a massive conspiracy, but like, what I was going to mention is there was one in a gaming edition, which was the last one I got up with, I think, which said that some first hospitalization from a Legend of Zelda related injury. Anyway, plot. But as there are some security measures in place. It's a sign that Marduk doesn't want us to come here. The keys to those doors should be hidden somewhere around.
Is it a conspiracy if they have a business solution tabs on their website?
Probably
just
not.
Business solutions, record-breaking marketing solutions.
I saw some promising.
Sorry, that's.
Here, but alas, I was afraid they might be mixed. I stopped getting the gaming have like massive glaring errors in the Pokemon section. Like once they said that Pokemon was published by Sony, and then in another one they had a screenshot of like Pokemon Radiant Shadows of Almia or Guardian Signs, one of those two, and they said it was from Pokemon Black and White.
I mean, that's because the Gamers Edition isn't actually made by gamers, it's made by people who want to make money.
Oh, and also I got a Poltergeist.
Also, like, the gaming records are just paid for. Like, that's just rich people coming up with shit.
I mean, there's also the speedrun
I'm sure...
which usually just get into a massive table because I guess they're not that interesting. I don't know, I don't really...
I mean, if you want to see speedrun records, just go to speedrun.com, which is actually tracking those because they want to.
Oh yeah, I sometimes watch videos about speedrunning, but I don't really watch actual speedruns because I just get bored.
I know that, like, speedrun. I also don't watch speedruns. Like, I watch speedruns that are like objective, that are like silly or for games that nobody plays. Like, oh yes, I am speedrunning Garfield Kart. Actual thing I've watched.
Oh yeah, well, didn't Garfield Kart become a meme for a while?
I mean, yeah, of course it did. It's Garfield in a cart. You can't get much more memey than a kart racing game with Garfield.
Well, so that means once I had these aspired to become the world's leading expert on the Pinata Pocket Paradise and just catalogue it because I tried to figure out everything about it without because it's not a very well-known game. But unfortunately, I'd probably want to get a DS capture card for that, and I also don't know how to crack open a game's files.
You know that it's really easy to hack your 3DS. Sorry, that's obligatory. That's an obligatory gag I have to do.
What the meme was with Nintendo Switches, though.
It's with your 3DS. It's really easy to hack your 3DS, apparently, which, you know, underestimates how incredibly stupid I am.
Which also reminds me of how, like there's some mods from Animal Crossing New Horizons, which is really surprising because I thought you couldn't mod console games.
I mean, you can, but, like, you have to hack your console to play pirated software first.
Also, remember this clock.
It's a surprise tool that will help us later.
Yeah, is that... Oh, that's from Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. I watched that as a kid.
Yes.
Anyway, here's a blob.
Yeah, I did too.
I don't remember much about it. And I also remember Super Sleuths, and I always thought it was stupid that they didn't recognise the girl when she put a hat on. All I remember about it is this one episode where they tried to attract butterflies with butter. And as you can see, activating...
Platypus? Harry the platypus. Sorry, same vibes.
Yeah. But at least, I think the whole joke of Phineas and Ferb is it's supposed to be a parody of really formulaic Saturday morning cartoons. I
mean, I don't really... I don't really think it's not really a parody. Like, that's... I feel like that's doing it a bit of a disservice, honestly. Like, no, it is a formulaic cartoon. It's just a really good formulaic cartoon, and people don't want to admit that there is a good formulaic cartoon, so they say it's a parody to avoid admitting that it's just good.
I also remember this one episode of Phineas and Ferb where, like, they accidentally just witness an entire Harry the Platypus adventure, and the whole time Phineas just thinks it's something Ferb made. Weird.
That is indeed an episode. For the longest time I thought that was the first episode. It's not. It's not the first episode.
I also remember another episode, which I think was some like sort of Christmas special, where like there's a museum with all the stuff Phineas and Ferb have built, and they have their mom on video chat, and Candace tries to bust them, and then the mom just says, "Oh, that's wonderful." Fabulous Fish, who's on my Discord server, and he's appeared on my channel a few times. He really likes Phineas and Ferb, or at least the early parts of it.
Definitely something we agree on. I mean, it's a good show. It's a good show. I like it.
It's been a long time since I've watched Phineas and Ferb. Honestly, like the only really like American cartoon I've watched recently was, well, I was about to say Amphibia, but no, that's not correct. It's Unicorn Academy because I guess, but like I don't like the whole era. You know, the era of like Orchard projects, cartoon stuff like Steven Universe, Gravity Falls, which I barely watched, The Owl House, which I haven't watched, and Amphibia, which I've seen all of. Is that grammatically correct? But anyway.
I mean, Gravity Falls is also really good.
Yeah. I saw bits of it back when it was first airing, but maybe one day I'll watch the whole thing. I'm not sure. You know, and that whole style where it starts out as being episodic, and then it just, there's more of a storyline that develops things from early episodes come back, and there's a lot of details in the background. Yeah, that sort of style. And if you're wondering, an auteur is a concept in pretentious film critic circles, which basically means that even though film is a collaborative project, the director or the head writer of a show could be considered to be basically the author because they have so much creative control over everything, as opposed to stuff that's made by committee, like My Little Pony P5, or My Little Pony Friendship is Magic after season 2, or really most of My Little Pony.
I thought it was after season... No, it is after season 2. She left in season 3.
Yeah. But Lauren Faust wasn't involved that much in
No,
season 2.
is completely unfair. The entire concept of auteur films is completely unfair to everybody who works on them.
Just noticed transgender Nico arcs in the chat. Hi. And, they said the music's kind of fire, get it? Because this place is hot.
I'm going to... The funny... I'm not going to do it because I don't want you to, like... think I'm being upset. I'm upset or anything. But the funniest thing, I was like this close to just disconnecting as a joke. Like I just quitting because of that pun.
I also heard the Discord notification sound a few minutes ago. But, like maybe someone.
Yeah, that wasn't me. Oh wait, no, that was me. I sent you the video that we were talking about earlier, so you can watch it when you have time.
Okay. I'll have a look at
I mean, you don't have to if you don't want to, but if you do want to.
Can't force me to do anything.
I'm not your boss of you. You're not my dad.
Is that a reference to something?
I actually have no idea. I think it's a reference to a line or something, but like it's something that people would always quote like when I was in middle school.
Every day I want to play basketball with my friends, but then I remember that I am a horse. And I saw that link to when someone was discussing Starlight Glimmer from My Little Pony Equestria Girls, who, to cut a long story short, is a unicorn who went to the pony dimension and a unicorn who went into the human world, and going to the human world automatically changes you into a human unless you're Spike. And someone used that basically to describe her. Also, there's a puzzle here, and it's actually quite hard to do. It's best for, even though there are multiple skills that can activate fire orbs, the best one to use is fiery shot because it's all long range. Even though the timing is very precise. And I did it on my first try. Is this the Let's Play curse? Oh, we got a new equipment and I kind of skimmed through it, but let's see. It's a summon sword. Even though it's a sword, it raises magic for some reason. And we've got a shop. Greetings, Deeper Knight.
Oh, it's a sword that was summoned, so it's a magical sword.
Talking to Trade Golem. Steam Golems wish to increase the distance. Should I do the robot voice? It's getting annoying. Anyway, it's just not really relevant to the story. We've got some really cool equipment though. We've got a shield generator, a charging sphere, and the thermal reactor. I think I'll give the thermal reactor to Casey because, like, his whole thing is stuck in bus. Obviously, I'll need to like upgrade it a bunch of times, but actually, maybe not really well for hits. Actually, no, I probably could get rid of my spaces. I'm not really sure. Maybe I could have played Ink instead. I'm not really sure. I've been switching out my team a lot. I'll think about it. Usually, I just give the thermal reactor to a Imugi. No, not Imugi. The lizard that I can't remember the name of off the top of my head. Oh wait, Kimori. No, that's Imori, that's it. Kimori is Trico in Japanese. I've only got 2 monsters with water attacks.
This isn't like me complaining, but like something I've noticed is that there's so many fantasy games that like their last level is like either steampunk or just straight up futuristic.
Well, this isn't the last
And it's just like,
level of the
so
game.
we've had future tech this whole time.
Why have you been tessellating hexagons is for Noah 2 Let's Play where he says that the past is futuristic and the future is pastoristic.
I want pasta.
I like pasta.
I love pasta. Pasta's delicious.
Oh,
You're right, you're right, NecoArc. Steampunk stuff is cool.
oh,
Also, I feel you so much. I hate doing editing.
Transgender NecoArc says I'm doing editing all morning. What have you been editing? I didn't know you were a YouTuber. Unfortunately, you can't access someone's channel by clicking their username when they're in a chat, which is annoying. Because YouTube was programmed how they want to use on typewriters.
It's still not the worst site I've ever used.
I mean, at least it doesn't buffer like most like web video websites, which is why I think a lot of trying to make my own YouTube startups fail because they just don't have the means to actually have it work. Like I've been on like a website, like websites have been made for just one person to upload their videos because YouTube kept copyrighting them, and they were just awful. It was buffered so much. It was really hard to get a video to even start. So like once I saw like this image that said YouTube is the only video website people use because it's the only one people care about. So what's brand new? Is that a dragon?
I mean, that's not even true. It's like, ah, yes, YouTube is the only video website people use. Sir, I'd like to introduce you to this concept called piracy. By which I, of course, mean like pirate ships. Definitely not media piracy. Why is the video quality suddenly terrible?
Is there a problem with your connection?
That's probably on my end. I think it's just on my end. Sometimes YouTube is like this to me.
Vimeo seems to be decently popular, but other than that. Also, I think on Vimeo you have to go by your real name. And
Know what the hell is going up with Vimeo? Sometimes, I mean, Vimeo, like, sometimes I'll, like, need to watch something for school, and so they'll send me a Vimeo link with a password, which is, like, it is kind of fun. Like, it is kind of, like, interesting, because, like, they will send me movies that are just straight up copyrighted. Like, I guess you're just... Why are you using OBS Studio to edit your videos?
Yeah, OBS is
Transgender
fine.
NecoArc, why?
I mean, I think you can record like pre-record videos on there, but I don't think it's designed for that. I've never tried editing in OBS, so I started out.
I mean, you can do pre-recorded videos just fine. It's just that, like, I wouldn't edit with it.
Yeah, I did Windows.
Like, I record
Started out
videos with it.
Windows Movie Maker, and then went to Power Writer, and then went to, but it didn't really work very well. So then I moved on to Adobe Premiere, but that was too expensive. So now I use Movavi.
I mean, Premiere Pro is just a hell on earth to work with. I don't know, I use Filmora because I only had to pay for it once.
What's the new Filmora makes you think
Like-
of Glimora, which is supposed to man, I completely screwed this up by waiting too much.
I don't know what CapCut is. I don't actually really know anything about video editing. I never because I never edit. I don't post things.
Yeah, your channel is mainly just
I'm definitely-
Redux.
I did exactly one, and I do more, but I just don't have the energy. I've considered, like, putting together an actual full dub with an actual cast.
Oh yeah, I've considered doing that as well, but with Thomas and friends, but I just can't get anyone interested except for tessellating hexagons, and he's one person. Not that I have anything against him, but I need more than one person for this.
Have him play every character.
Also, he can be Keith Wickham. If you don't know, Keith Wickham is a voice actor who voices and everyone in Thomas and Friends, basically. Especially in the British dub, a lot of his characters are voiced by other people in the American dub, and in one of the specials, which is called The Adventure Begins, he voices literally every important male character except Thomas, which is like at least 5. No, 6 actually, because he voices them.
So it's very realistic to have him play every character. Sticking to your source material.
And I'm pretty sure every female character that talks in that movie, all like 3 of them, is voiced by Teresa Gallagher, who's also in the doubles as a lot of Thomas characters. I also don't actually know what other things they've been in. I don't actually know what all the voice actors are. If you don't watch a lot of animated shows, we're giving reading, you'll notice they repeat voice actors a lot, like Dinosaur Train shares a lot of voice actors from My Pony Friendship is Magic, because they were both done in Vancouver.
Canada.
Well,
Vancouver? Yeah, Vancouver is in Canada, right?
I could count on the support of the Monster Sanctuary. You didn't find a champion monster around here yet, did you? You gave me fake news and I actually forgot there wasn't a champion at this point. There's gotta be one somewhere around here. I know Bardock wouldn't leave this place unguarded. So, let's press on, but also be on your guard. And now we can go back here. It's a back cut, as tessellating experts would say. And this is why we need to remember the clock, because we need to go, in order to proceed, we need to go and change this clock to 9. I'm not saying 9 PM, but no, it's a 12-hour clock, so it doesn't really matter. And we can't do anything about this block yet. Actually, no, maybe we don't actually need to do that to proceed, it's just, I don't, oh gosh, it's been a while since I've gotten this far again. Oh, here's the champion. Goblin Pilot, weak to water and wind. Tree Swan! What would a tree swan even look like? That sounds like something out of Serena. If you don't know, Serena is this online speculative biology project about an alien planet that's inhabited, populated with a bunch of animals, and the most prominent ones are canaries. And then they get really weird and start becoming quadrupedal. I can't hear you very well, Backset.
I have a vague knowledge of that. Didn't it, like, at some point just suffer a massive fire?
Oh yeah, I haven't actually read
Everything burned
it.
down, ecosystem collapsed.
Yeah, I read it on the TV tropes page, but basically there's this whole arc where there's someone...
Here.
There's one bird who's super intelligent compared to other members of his species, and he becomes friends with other species, and then he accidentally sets fire to the entire planet inside a cold sea. As you know.
What? What? I thought this was a speculative biology project.
Yeah, it gets quite weird. And anyway, that went smoothly. We've got a hammer. Is there really much association between goblins and hammers in any media, really? There probably is. I don't know.
Oh no.
I'm not an expert, because when I saw that, thinking like, oh, green guy.
You're not a goblinologist.
Immediately thought of Barrel's hammer from Amphibia for some reason.
It's been on your brain.
I've been watching a lot of Amphibia clip compilations lately. If you don't know, Barrel is some guy from the backstory. He was Toad with Big Hammer, and he was friends with. Oh wait, he was friends with someone that important that spoiler. So infernal beasts of the bowels of the earth, even though we're quite high up. It is as I had feared. Everyone says I'm having this voice. What is the meaning of this alchemist? We were all deceived, you see. The duped bamboo. They called Manu a devil. How close they were to the truth. Let me explain how I came to doubt our leader, Marduk. When I learned
don't care. Nobody
years,
cares about your tragic backstory, bro.
well, it's not his backstory. I was astonished, as you'd expect. I believed that he had found the legendary philosopher's stone able to promote the human aging process, but that may only exist in the realm of myth. Dude, we're in a fantasy world.
Wait, is this the first time? Are they just introducing this plot point now?
Eventually, I realized the only way for a human to reach immortality was not through an alchemical breakthrough, but through the occult. Of course, I would never meddle with should share their knowledge with each other, but now I'm getting sidetracked. What I mean to say is, despite my colleagues revering Marduk as the saviour of alchemy, it became clear to me that he was only using us. This room, this statue, proves my findings. There is some connection between Marduk and the occult. To be more exact, a connection between Marduk and Mad Eyes. Perhaps he's not even human himself at all, or he's just a pawn in a much bigger scheme. Who knows? Is there anything else you could tell us? Not much, I'm afraid. I heard from other alchemists that Marduk is hiding in the abandoned tower, but I can't even confirm or refute that fact, to be honest. It's just hearsay. It's just a theory. I never even met him personally.
A game theory!
He seems to only fully trust two of the alchemists, Zosimus and Chimes. That's all I can tell you. I will keep wandering the sanctuary to find out more. If I find anything else, I'll let you know. Check with your familiar once in a while. They'll keep you know for sure, I'm sure. Oh yeah, the familiar has a hidden system that I haven't used to use it because I'm basically going to get it on the back of my hand. I'm not really sure why this room reveals that Marduk is connected to Mad Eyes. There's not really a description of the statue or anything, but at least we can proceed now.
I mean, I guess it's his tower? He lives here, doesn't he?
I'm not sure. But before we do that, I'd like to, there's going to be a lot of plot stuff happening, and there's going to be a keeper duel, so I'd like to prepare for that. Maybe I'll change up my team again, because honestly, the plague egg isn't really that great. It's not really dealing with damage. I might change it to something else, like Draconauts not really doing that much for me either. Sword monsters are by the square. Sorry, I keep sometimes misclicking things. Polteroften's got some really fun defensive stuff, though. Is it pronounced Polter? No, it's pronounced Polterofen because it's German, even though it's based on Tsukumagami, which are Japanese. Basically, Tsukumagami is the idea that if certain objects have been used for 100 years, they'll achieve sentience. And there's a lot of Pokemon based on various Tsukumagami, like I think Shuppet is. And there's
I mean, it is a puppet, yeah.
And this is not a Pokemon. There's also this umbrella with an eye that appears in a lot of things like Yokai Watch and Kirby's Dream Land 3. Probably more. I'm not really.
I love Eye Umbrella. I know its name, but I've forgotten. Right. Casa Obake. I definitely pronounced that wrong. It's so goofy. It looks so goofy. I love it. Goofy ass little monster thing.
I'm just going to go for a defensive build with this. I don't really like mentioning builds in video games. It just sounds a bit weird, but I don't know what else to call this. Oh, actually, no, I could probably use shield generator because shield generator might be good on this. Also, maybe I could give Owl City the ocarina because that's good for healers with like this. Yeah, I dropped off the mimic egg, but I got 3 boxes. Oh, the Goblin King egg, that's nice. Honestly, I kind of want to name. I have an name for this mind. It's called Chesh. It's because earlier today I watched a Dapper Dinosaur live stream where he's guessed someone called Goblin Queen Chesh. And no one said the king had to be male, so.
Yes, the Goblin.
And I like filling out movesets and monsters even if I'm not willing to use them right away because it just feels right. Right, shift is a lot more. Actually, maybe I could give it the one that gives charge stacks as well. The item that gives charge stacks. I can't remember. Or maybe instead. It's got lots to choose from. Charging sphere, that's it. That'd be good. Fortunately, I can't upgrade the fishing rod right now. I'm gonna need an agile gem, probably some sapphires too. And a green gem. Oh, and bronze.
Oh yes, green.
Oh, and I can't buy sapphires yet, so maybe I could go find a champion just before we finish this. I'm gonna get another
Perhaps.
green gem. I've also noticed there's a lot of items that upgrade that need like the blue and green gem series. Oh gosh, I need more azure gems. How many azure gems do I need? Oh.
Running back and forth.
I think I'll stop upgrading for now because it's just getting kind of tedious. Anyway. There's a hidden boss underneath the ancient woods. Maybe I'll go do that. Wait, how does what even walk transgender Nico up? I just noticed the chat again.
Yeah, what's walking here? What's running?
Oh. Oh yeah, I forgot my keeper level is still quite low compared to my actual level, like my monsters levels, because what is this joke? Because I've been many champions.
Ah.
Oh, are you talking about Casey the Nautilid? Because I think you might be Casey, but I'm not actually sure. Okay, so we couldn't get up here earlier, but now we can thanks to the power of improved flying. And also, we should probably light this candle, or maybe just have lots of
Woohoo!
torch. There's also
Do
a
not
square
take
up.
candle.
And this is a monster that's exclusively found in this area, the troll. Not to be confused with the various other kinds of trolls. Like
Well, now they're just getting uncreative. They're just trolls. What?
As I said, yeah, a lot of these are just direct adaptations of fantasy monsters, although these trolls don't hide under bridges, so what's the point?
I mean, not all trolls in fantasy hide under bridges.
I'm also remembering in Onward there's a joke where, like, the troll is in charge of a toll gate on a bridge, and you can either pay him or you can answer a riddle. Even though I thought that was sphinxes who answered riddles, not who gave people riddles, not trolls, but whatever.
I don't know. Trolls can do whatever they want. Nobody said they couldn't.
Also, this is
Are you saying that trolls aren't allowed to ask riddles? Are you saying only sphinxes can ask riddles? Are you being discriminatory against trolls?
The troll under the bridge is the three billy goats grew up, like, don't really, basically they're trying to sacrifice each other. And there's a Thomas episode based on the Nosy Lights. Also, oh my gosh, everyone has so many statuses right now. Also, why are they called the Billy Goats Gruff? It's like, I always thought that title was a bit weird. Are they saying they're not particularly gruff, and you don't normally put adjectives after a noun in English unless you're trying to be poetic, but I don't think this is.
I mean, I don't know, but also the rules of English have changed over the years. It's an older fairy tale. So it's like holding it to the same, like, noun stand, to the same, call it, grammar standards as modern English is grammar, yes, grammar.
Oh yeah, it kind of reminds me of how in French and like most Romance languages, usually the verb goes before the noun, except when it. But then, like with certain adjectives, ones that are apparently really common, they go. The adjectives usually go after the noun, but there's some really common ones, like the ones for big and small. I don't like. I know big is grande and petite. That's it. They go after them. They go before the noun, like in English, because they just want to confuse us, I guess. Anyway, this is Brutus. I think it's another one that was submitted by a fan or a Kickstarter backer, because it's not based on anything in mythology as far as I know, and it has no witnesses or resistance, but it only knows neutral attacks. It's kind of a cool design.
I thought for a moment you said it leaves no witnesses, and I'm like, wow, okay, I guess it's just gonna straight up murder us then.
Well, I mean, it is quite strong. It's some, like, I kind of like it's a gorilla crossed with a ram. I almost said lamb, that's not right. And it also
There's some lion in there.
Oh yeah, with the mane. I never really noticed that.
Yeah. The mane, and honestly, I think that face is more like the body is a gorilla, the horns are a ram, but I think the face and mane are a lion. That's what I think, at least.
And there goes whichever one has the locus. And it also not only specialises in charged attacks, but also its own special version of charged attacks called Power Focus, which increases damage of the next attack even more. Oh, yeah, okay.
It's yawning. I woke up early today.
I mean, oh yeah, sometimes if I don't get a good night's sleep, I wake up at like 4, I wake up at like 5 AM, I'm exhausted by lunchtime.
I mean, it's like 11:54. It might as well be 12. It's basically noon.
This is
And like, I just get tired easily.
might switch to something else in the night. Actually, I might as well just use the Phoenix tier. It's a revival item. I haven't really used any items.
Seriously, Phoenix tier. Ah!
Suppose... Oh, I have a Phoenix Serum, which is even better. I didn't notice that.
Saying Final Fantasy has a monopoly on the term Phoenix for healing items, but also, come on.
I mean, I think in the lore, it's simply a Phoenix tier that's that healing properties, but maybe that's just in Harry Potter, I'm not really sure. I'm not a mythologist, which is apparently a word. I don't know if that's a real term. I know that folklorist is a real term.
Oh, it is a real term.
Mythologist? Or
Yeah, I think it's a real term.
Okay. Although I'm not really sure what the difference between mythology and folklore is, or if it's one of those really fuzzy ones, like difference between a fairy tale and a fable. Usually fables have morals, but then
Oh, yeah, it's fuzzy.
sometimes fairy tales have morals as well. And apparently the only difference between a parable and a fable is that parables are about humans.
I mean, I think that people are just making things up now, honestly.
I have a passing interest in anthropology. Okay. And
Anthropology is fun.
finally, got a dumbbell. there's such a thing as a dumb waiter, which is basically this sort of weird trolley on wheels used to deliver people. I think it means dumb in the old-fashioned sense of unable to speak because it doesn't talk. And we need to break our way through here. What monsters do I have that can do that? Oh, yeah, the fish. I can't remember the name of. Oh, and we
Ah, yes, the fish.
got a morning star.
Pull out a fish on land.
It all began with a fish. How did it end up like this? Or however that Tiktaalik meme goes.
Help.
Anyway, it's been nearly an hour, so oh gosh, I could use loads of those, and I might feed the potter often too. So once I've finished doing all of these moveset adjustments, I think I'm gonna go and wrap up the live stream. As always, thank you for watching, and thanks to Backset for co-commentating, and next time we will be going into the abandoned tower. Until then, stay interesting!